All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 9443, State of Texas versus Esperanza Marino. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Oscar Salinas.
For the defense?
Valerie.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, we have.
And are you Ms. Marino?
Yes.
I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, I'm sorry, counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we did.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we're waiving amendment count one, proceeding on count two.
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled court's admonishment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? All right, did you understand the state is proceeding on unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court doesn't have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, this is done? You are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, she has.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, she was. And
Miss-
she is.
Marino, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
Maria.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's $1,000 fine, no application for deferred adjudication, and the state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense,
Yes.
state,
Yes, sir.
showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your
Counsel, are there any such motions? Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. How long are you all requesting for community supervision?
Honor.
No, I mean for, I'm sorry, not communities. Yes, for
Oh, yeah.
community supervision.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
2 over 2. Sorry, Judge.
That's okay. Outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. That there be 200 hours community service restitution, TAP evaluation, and CATS 1 and 2. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Yes, sir. State offers was marked as State's Exhibit 1 and its attachments and so.
No objection.
Ms. Marino, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver, consent, and stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, it will be no live testimony? Did you understand? All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty. The court will find the defendant guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, Ms. Marino, we've been here a couple of times. You've amended her conditions because she's been doing an amazing job. It's a different person from the day that I met her. So we would ask that you follow the plea offer and agreement. She is on a GPS partial right now, so she's looking forward to moving on and doing whatever it takes to successfully complete her probation.
All right, when you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you are going to get drug tested today. All right. Have you ever used any drugs in the past?
In the past.
Yes. What have you used in the past? And what else? All right, we're going to do a drug test today. Do you have any children? What are their ages?
14 and 10.
And do they live with you?
They live with my dad.
Okay. And who is this other person who was in the vehicle with you? What are they to you? Are you employed? What do you do?
A medical assistant and our guardian associate.
Okay. All right, the court is going to, as previously stated, find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 2 years, $1,000 fine, probated, 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. Parenting classes, the remaining of the hours will be waived once you complete the parenting classes. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There should be regular UAs. I'm going to want a UA today. CATS 1 and 2. Usually I give people that course, but I give the course, but I think you may need CATS 1 and 2, but do not take what does not belong to you. You understand? Proof of employment within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There should be no contact with Conrad, Adrian, Vidari. I think it's Vidaurria. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month. In probation, if you want to count the field visits as reporting, you can. Probation, is there anything else she needs? It can be either or. Is there anything else you need from me in order to be successful in this probation? State, do you still want her on GPS or can that be removed?
No, they can.
All right, and we'll remove the GPS.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places? Right. Did you understand? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, it's been a long day. And because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Do better. You have children who are depending on you. The court is calling 2023 CR 3852, State of Texas versus Kaylin Johnson. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense. And Ms. Johnson is by Zoom. Any
Yes, ma'am.
objections to her appearing by Zoom? State Defense. All right, so there's a request for occupational license. Defense is your motion. You may proceed.
Include all relevant information in addition, it's been checked by the staff attorney's office. Ms. Johnson is eligible for an occupational license. The state's not opposed. It's a true third. We've made sure that the language in the order tracks the new law. And Ms. Johnson's essential needs that she obviously needs to do grocery shopping for herself and fulfill those things. She has to get her community service hours and she has to get her needs. So her doctor is in one of the counties. Her she's got a home in Karnes County that she needs to look after from time to time. And then her day-to-day business brings her into contact in Comal County, Comal County, and Garrett County. She lives at that on that northwest corner. So we're asking for those routes to be included in the order. And we, for the record, have included letters from her and from her doctor and her children to indicate what their essential needs are.
All right, and the court will note for the record that according to the true bill of indictment. The first DWI was in 2006. The second one is in 2007, and this one, the third one, is 2022. Ms. Johnson, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly, and if you could unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, gosh, we have a problem with volume. Could you speak up, please?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Can you click on the audio on your phone?
I'm on my laptop.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Thank you. All right, Daniel, you can never leave. You're the tech person. All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Kaylin Johnson.
All right, can you speak up louder, please?
Kaylin Johnson.
All right, are you able to hear that? All right, just one moment. All right, could you speak again, please?
Yes, my name is Kaylin Johnson.
All right, so the court is in receipt for an application of occupational license. And the court has received several letters. So can you tell the court what is your reason for needing an occupational license?
Yes, I'm not working anymore. I worked up until the time of the DWI on December 27th, but I'm an RN and you can't really work as an RN after a DWI. And I will be doing housework for several people that will pay me. And my mom she's 92 and she had a recent fall where she was in BAMC ICU and she recently went home. And she needs me to help take care of her as far as bathing and cleaning her house and helping with her animals. I have 150 hours of community service that I need to deal with. I've been attending my 4 meetings a week, primarily on Zoom, but fellowship is a big part of staying sober. So I would like to be able to go to AA meetings in person, live meetings. But my doctor is in Seguin, and of course I have to buy groceries. And
So have you previously been doing AA meetings by Zoom?
yes, ma'am. My sponsor picks me up like once every week or two to take me, but it's become, it's hard for her to get over here and get me before getting to a meeting. So yeah, I've been doing Zoom.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to grant the motion for occupational license without objection, but I want to see how you do with the occupational license. And then later your attorney can come back with regards to doing your AA meetings in person and not by Zoom. So if you'll come back in 3 months with regards to doing the meetings in person, then the court will consider that. So you're not allowed to do the AA meetings in person. You can do that by Zoom.
Okay. So
Yes. If you obtain a ride to the Zoom meetings, to the AA meetings in person, then
yes.
you have that, you can do it in person, but you can't drive there yet.
Okay. Can I go to the grocery store?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Thank you.
All right. And the court is notating, normally I don't have people caring for people, but I see that your mother is 92 and that she had a fall.
Yes.
All right. Is there anything else? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, counsel. And I'm going to sign off this and then you can get a copy of it. Court is calling 2022 CR 8640, State of Texas versus Roland Hernandez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Oscar Salinas.
Neil Kalfas on behalf of Mr. Roland Hernandez.
Are you Mr. Hernandez? Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am, I have, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Hernandez, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Hernandez,
I'm waiving, oh, sorry, waiving individual accounts.
that's okay. It's been a long day. Any objections to the waiver?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargaining agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargaining agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargaining agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargaining agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, to both.
Mr. Hernandez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you into this plea?
Oh, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Oh, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications. If you do not appear at sentencing, then you will be subject to the full range punishment. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge.
State,
Yes, sir.
showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Yes, Judge. State offers within Marcus States Exhibit 1 is attachments.
No objections, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. When are you asking for sentencing?
Just after the first of the year, Judge, any day, whatever the court pleases.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, do we have a time on the 9th? All right, so your sentencing is going to be on January 9th. They're going to give you a reset form. You need to make sure you appear on that date. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, Mr. Hernandez. This is possession less than a gram case, which means, or I'm making the assumption that somebody's using. Don't go out there and start using drugs because you're not going to be seen till January 9th. Drugs are not approved by the FDA. People put in whatever they want to put in, and you could end up ODing. And then you won't make it to see the new year. It always gets to the point when it's close to the new year and people are knocking, as my grandmother would always say, knocking on the door, get into the new year, and then something happens and they die. Don't let that be you, because you're adding to the equation of using drugs. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form and we'll see you back then. Always good seeing you, Mr. Kalfas.
You too, Judge. Merry Christmas to you and the court staff and and your mother, of course.
Aw.
So I haven't catch up with you. I'm sorry I'm the best friend, but
You have not been,
you know that if you ever need me, I'm right there for it.
see, that's the key. If I can pick up the phone and call, I know I can pick up the phone and call.
You know that you can, so.
And then you won't fly to get to me. You'll run because you could get there faster running than flying. It's always good seeing you. I had a chance to speak with Laura Abib.
Yes, well, how's she doing?
She's doing great.
You know, what I think about is that it's been 25 years now since we graduated from law school.
Oh,
I'm
wait.
not really sure where the last 25 years has gone.
Quite quickly, right?
You know, I'm definitely not feeling like the new or young lawyer.
Well, just think of your first law school exam.
Well, you know, I wake up in the sweats when I think of that, and when you laughing after.
All
How
right.
would you feel if you would have completely discouraged you from going into criminal law as a result of that?
I would have brought you along. I would have brought you along. I would have lifted you up.
Whether you know it or not, you did bring me along.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. So we are done for the day. We're going to be back on Monday. All right, John Gabriel Gonzalez. Mr. Bond, could you speak with Ms. Ferguson for a moment?
Sure.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, do you wish to have another attorney appointed to you?
Yes, please.
All right, we're going to go on the record. We're going to go on the record in 2022 CR 5348B, State of Texas versus John Gabriel Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, we were here on December 14th, 2022, and there appeared to be some issues with your attorney. Are you requesting another attorney be appointed to represent you other than Mr. Sherman?
Yes, please.
All right, that's going to be granted. Sorry, that goes with that file. All right, your attorney that came up is going to be Mr. Charles Bont. He's right next to you. All right. So, Mr. Bont, this has been reset for January 24th for jury trial, but I know that you're a new attorney on it.
Yes.
So if you all want to have a chance to confer, I think the state has its file down. It's a possession case.
We'll look at it right now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can sit down.
Yes, please.
Priscilla Sosa.
Hello, Judge, we're present again.
All right,
I'm present again, I should say.
okay. All right, today is the plea deadline date. What's going on?
Oh, it is the plea deadline date.
Yes.
Oh, no. I was gonna ask this court very nicely if I could get it until January 14th. I'll have an answer to them before then. So the issue is that she's a co-defendant to a defendant that is represented by Mr. Bunk. So I'll review those two cases together. Not to disclose too much about the facts of
Sure.
her case, but there are some issues with it that I would like to at least get a little more familiar with, which would include bringing in the officers, and it looks like there was at some level a federal investigation that was
All
going
right, so
on.
who's the co-defendant?
Ruben Rodriguez, is in your file, Judge.
All right, so Norma. All right, so on Ruben Rodriguez and on Priscilla Sosa, we're going to call that back on January 14th. Is there any
I'm
objection?
sorry, 12.
12th. They're telling me January 12th, Ms. Ferguson.
I think the 14th is Saturday.
I think so, right? Well, we
Yes,
can-
well, you guys can be here.
I'm gonna pass.
All right, and Mr. Rodriguez will come back on the 12th as well. Do you need to speak with him?
No, he knows.
All right, so we'll come back on the 12th on each of those cause numbers. Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form and we'll see you then.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Judge,
Yes.
I brought this up a couple times in the past. My client still has a light monitor. Is there any chance you can take that off?
wanna-
I don't think she's had any violations.
Is she on tracking? What is she on?
I'm just checking.
Try.
Okay, State, you want to confer over that?
Thank you, Ron.
Caleb Coleman Lee. Is the attorney here? Hello. All right. You're always dressed appropriately for court. I appreciate that. All right, on Coleman Lee, we were here for discovery. Where are we on that?
Judge, we've tried contacting people numerous times, we did not return our calls. Or there was a brief period in time where she actually was a defendant in a county court case, but we could not contact her. It does look like the county court case was resolved. So that's something that we're gonna again try to start contacting her again. There's just a point where we couldn't contact her. For a couple weeks.
Well, I mean, but what are we going to do with this case? Because that's been a while. I mean, are you all proceeding on this case without a complainant?
So we were still gonna proceed. There are other witnesses to this. There were other people who witnessed what happened. At least for my reading of our file.
All right, have you given a offer to them?
I believe so. An offer was previously tendered.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, how long do you expect this trial to last?
That judge, I looked at the case, but I don't know enough about it to give a good answer. I would
Okay.
assume at least a week. but-
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Mr. Coleman? Potentially a week. All right, your jury trial date, and I'll make it your jury trial date and your plea deadline date, since the state hasn't talked to the complainant and that offer may change.
Judge, we had a.
Excuse me, you all need to have a seat. Yes,
We had a motion that was on file in regard to discovery as well.
okay.
And I don't know if it actually has been accepted, but may I approach it?
Yes.
I have presented it to the prosecution. I
Mhm.
think we have an agreement on most issues, with the exception of the medical record. They, the witness has referred to 113 pages of medical records that she has in her possession, which was talking to the investigative officer, as well as another police officer. We've requested those medicals since July, so we are saying that, you know, this should also act as a motion to suppress. But they should not just show up and say, oh, okay, now we have them.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Ms. Ferguson, take this off of February 21st. We're gonna set it for January. That's gonna be the final discovery. And state, you need to give the discovery if you have it. If you don't have it, then we go to jury trial, then things will happen appropriately. All right, what date, can you give me the fourth week in January? Is that enough time for everybody?
That should be your honest.
All right, so we're gonna come back on February 3rd for discovery. Is there an issue? Oh, no, end of January. She's giving me February 3rd. I say end of January. Now, if she would have said February 14th, I would have said something different. So are you working? Is there an issue with your being here?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, what is the issue?
I can't work. Every job that I've had, turned me down. I was a security guard at the airport. I can't go back there. Was a 5-star Uber driver.
Oh, they're not gonna let you do that with this offense.
Yes, ma'am. 5-star Uber driver. They took me out of Uber. They took me out of Uber. To my Amazon Summit account. So I have no source of income whatsoever.
I mean, well, here's the thing. There is nothing I can do about that. So, I mean, what appears on your record appears on your record. There's nothing I can do about it. But I don't want your attorney going to trial without discovery. I don't want to set this for jury trial and there's no discovery request. So your attorney is informing the court that there is some discovery that she has not received. So I'm giving the state until February 3rd to have turned over all that discovery. And if state hasn't and we're at jury trial, then the court will hear appropriate motions
So then the motion should be heard.
on February 3rd. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. So Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 3565, State of Texas versus Andres Menchaca. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Whisper, Oscar Salinas, State Texas.
Defense?
Your Honor, Jeffrey Martinez.
And are you Mr. Menchaca? Showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Andres Menchaca who was placed on community supervision in 2020 CR 3565 for the offense of theft 30,000 to 150,000 vehicle on October 13, 2020 for a term of 4 years? Is that you? State?
Yes, Judge. Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Andres Menchaca did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of August, September, and October 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? State?
Yes, and additionally, in the supplemental motion, There's a violated condition number 5 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Andres Menchaca did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer for the months of November and December.
Counsel, before you finish reading, the court doesn't have a supplemental motion.
Was one not filed or? is there-
It's not in the file. All right, thank you. Let me see it. Oh, just fine.
There are 2 additional number 5s.
All right, Mr. Menchaca, I'm showing you what's entitled state's motion to supplement pending motion to revoke probation. Did you review that with your attorney and did you understand it? All right, state, you may proceed with the supplemental.
Thanks, Judge. Violated condition number 5 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Andres Menchaca did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November and December 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true? True or not true?
And
All
then
right, state.
violated condition number 5 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Andres Menchaca did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
And the state will waive and abandon their remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 5, 5, and 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 4 years in prison and $1,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yeah.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to 5, 5, and 5?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find 5, 5, and 5 true. Is there an agreement?
No, Judge, there's not.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
The state is requesting that the court grant the motion, revoke his community supervision, amend the judgment for a term of 3 years.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, in the probation recommendations is for a drug court recommendation. We'd ask the court to follow the probation recommendation for drug court. He tested positive, was the reason for this motion to revoke, Your Honor. He has a substance abuse problem. He would like help with that. He has 2 years remaining on his probation. In lieu, if he does not qualify for drug court, the probation requirement was to go to SATA. He very much wants help and to remain on probation. He has gotten, in the last year where he's not reported, he has been working, gotten his life together, but he needs the help. I asked not to go to TVC today, but to receive the help that probation's recommending that he get.
But why hasn't he reported?
Honestly, Your Honor, he has no excuse. It just, it was scary to happen this day, so there's no excuse for him not reporting.
All right, court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions. Does your client have any health issues?
No.
No, he does not.
All right, I'm gonna extend him for 2 years. And he's either gonna do SATA or ISF, substantive and cognitive track, whichever one is quickest.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
No.
All right, thank you. Do better. And counsel, here's your, yes. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to a $1,500 fine? Did you understand? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is we're asking the court to find the violation true.
Just one moment, I'm sorry. All right, thanks, Mom. Oh, no, there's no need to apologize. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. All right, I'm sorry about that, but here's the thing. When your mom calls you, you need to answer. I don't care what you're doing. Even if you're in the middle of heart surgery, you need to put it on pause and talk to your mom. All right, so we're back on the record. You've entered a plea of true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. We ask that you find the violation true, you revoke the defendant's community supervision and amend the underlying sentence to 3 years in consideration for dismissing the new case. Let me get that cross number. CC 694103.
All right, is that the agreement?
That is right.
Mr. Campbell, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will grant the motion. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 694103. There's to be no contact with Jesse, Jessie, Santillan, Santillan. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Campbell, good luck to you. In life, you got to follow rules. Do you understand?
I did not handle the original case. Mr. Campbell wanted to be sure that he got started a longer time. Before he was on the.
Yes, he'll get credit for any time served. All right, you'll get credit for any time that you've been in custody. All right, thank you. All right, what is happening with Anthony Villarreal?
So Judge, we were previously, I was conferring with Marcus Sanders. He's out on maternity leave, so.
He's not coming back. So,
Oh, my apologies. All right.
well, no, he's on paternity leave,
Yes.
but he's also going to be in a new position, so he's not going to be here.
No, I understand.
Okay.
So with that being said, it was a little bit of a, I guess you call it a stopgap. They brought him up to speed on it. They were able to track down some discovery. It's in the file now, which I'm appreciative for. I need to get copies of that. It's a surveillance video, statement he gave, photographs, more surveillance video, and some other stuff. It's about 6 DVDs worth of items.
And Your Honor, just to clarify, the DVDs aren't marked, they don't say what's in them, so I have to actually look through and make sure that they are
Yeah.
what we're looking for.
Yeah. So we don't have a plea offer on the case yet. I don't think they're ready to extend ones, or, well, I don't want to speak for y'all, but we don't have a plea bargain yet. However, I think if by next time we'll have one, we'll know whether or not we're going to trial or what we need to do on this case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you call this back for discovery the 4th week in January? He's on bond.
And there was one other issue, Judge. We had filed a motion a while back, and I was speaking with Marcus on it. He's on full GPS house arrest. We were hoping to get him permission to go to work. He does have employment lined up. Do you want to tell?
It's a labor on demand, it's attempt to hire. It's on it's basically a 90-day period. I've got to be there for 90 days, and then whether they're gonna hire me or not, but it's a attempt to hire.
What kind of work is it?
It's a landscaping company.
Landscaping. Okay, there we go.
I mean, you need a place where you're going to be stationary. I don't accept any of this as true because I haven't received anything.
Like I said, it's a labor hall, but it's an attempt to hire. I couldn't actually get a place where I am stationary, where I'm at one place all day.
What date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, so this is what you can do. I will consider that allowing you to work if you find a place where you're stationary, not moving throughout the city.
Okay.
So once you get that information to your attorney, just represent it.
Excellent. Give me a, I guess just quick, get your copy for you.
All right, who's here on Thomas Ollie?
Roger. And I had car trouble this morning. I switched cars. I forgot my check.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, I mean, if you're gonna forget your jacket, at least wear purple. So there you go.
I'll take mine off.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Thomas Ollie, if you'll come forward.
Your Honor, we're here to see if that is bond. He, apparently his bondsman said they lost communication. And he thought he was calling enough. He said he paid the bond in full. But he'd like the court to set another bond. I don't think he can reinstate that one, but yes, he said he's bonded.
So is he only not have a bond because the bondsman got off his bond,
That's my understanding.
Ms. Ferguson?
Yes, there's an affidavit.
All right, so what was his previous bond set at?
I thought that was.
No, it's not.
What was that case number?
Oh, it's this one. But have you conferred with the state on these cases?
I don't think I have, Your Honor, honestly.
All right, so before we take this matter up,
I have 10-30 juvenile detention hearings. I've got 2 other felonies. His family loves him so much. They're calling us every day.
well, no, I mean, I understand you have
I'm
two
just
other.
worried if I don't make it back.
Well, no, here's the thing. I understand about juvenile detention hearings. I understand that those are considered district courts.
It's with Judge Laborde, and she's very thorough,
No, I mean, I understand.
and she takes a long time.
Okay, but can you confer with the
Yes,
state?
ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, just have a seat.